A long time ago, there lived a young man named George. He had recently married a lovely girl named Misha. They truly loved each other. George worked as a clerk in an office. One evening, George and Misha went out for shopping. While passing by a shop, Misha stopped and looked at a beautiful handbag in the window. Misha checked the price tag. Her smile slowly faded.
"Oh, it's too much,"
she said softly, looking a bit disappointed. They walked ahead. After a while, Misha spotted another handbag. It was simple but nice.
"This one is okay,"
she said with a smile. George nodded.
"Let's get it."
He paid for it, and they returned home. One evening, Misha said gently,
"George, I want to do a job."
George looked at her.
"A job?"
She smiled a little.
"I think we both should work. Soon our family will grow."
George stayed quiet for a moment. He wanted to care for everything on his own. But he knew she was right. He finally nodded.
"If that's what you want. Okay."
Misha's eyes lit up.
"Thank you, George."
She started searching for work the next day. After some days, she got a job as a receptionist in an office. Misha started her job. She worked hard and stayed polite with everyone. Her boss, Mr. Robert, noticed her from the very first day. He thought to himself,
"She's not just smart. She's also very beautiful."
Mr. Robert was a married man with 2 kids. But he still found himself thinking about Misha. One evening, as he was leaving his office, he stopped by the reception desk. With a smile, he asked,
"Would you like to join me for coffee?"
Misha looked up, a bit surprised. She hesitated for a second, then gave a small smile.
"Of course."
They went to a nearby coffee shop. After that, it became a habit. They often went out together for coffee or dinner. Misha slowly started coming home late. When George asked, she would say,
"There's extra work at the office."
One evening, George got his salary. He felt happy and excited. As he walked out of the office, he thought,
"Misha loves pizza. I'll surprise her tonight."
He stopped at a pizza shop and bought a large one with her favorite toppings. Smiling, he headed home, excited to see her face. Later, when Misha came, George greeted her with joy.
"Misha, I got us pizza. Let's eat together,"
he said, opening the box. Misha didn't even smile.
"I already ate a sandwich at the office,"
she said.
"I'm not hungry."
Then she walked to the bedroom. George sat quietly for a moment. He looked at the pizza, then sighed. He closed the box and put it in the fridge. One day, as George was walking home from work, he saw something that stopped him. Just across the road, Misha was sitting in her boss's car. She was talking and smiling. George froze for a moment.
"What is Misha doing with him?"
he thought, confused and hurt. He reached home quietly. That night, after dinner, he couldn't hold it in.
I saw you today.
George said softly.
You were in your boss's car.
Misha's face changed.
Are you doubting me?
George got nervous.
No, not at all.
She said coldly.
Let me tell you the truth. My boss likes me. He proposed to me. I'm leaving tomorrow.
George's heart sank.
You don't even have your own house.
Misha continued.
I'm working to cover my own needs. You can't give me anything.
George's voice cracked.
Misha. I'm doing my best.
Misha picked up her pillow and went to sleep in the lounge. George lay on the bed alone, his eyes filled with tears. The next morning, Misha packed her things. George stood near the door, watching her.
Misha. You're making a mistake.
He said gently.
He's already married. He's not sincere with you.
Misha didn't stop packing.
It's not your business,
she said rudely. She picked up her bags and walked out of the house without looking back. George stood there, his eyes full of tears. He slowly wiped them away and got ready for work. At the office, his friend Juliana noticed something was wrong. She asked,
Are you okay?
George told her everything. Juliana comforted him. In time, they became very close. Soon they got married and started a new chapter together. A few months later, George lost his job. He searched for work everywhere but found nothing. He started making strawberry jam at home and selling it to nearby stores. His jam quickly became popular. Soon, George opened his own company. One day, George was driving when he saw Misha standing alone by the roadside. He slowed down, stopped the car, and stepped out.
Hi, Misha.
He said. Misha smiled slowly.
You.
George nodded.
Yes. Come on. Let's have some coffee.
She agreed, and they walked to a nearby coffee shop. They sat quietly as the waiter placed 2 cups on the table. George looked at her.
Why are you using public transport?
Misha lowered her eyes.
Robert divorced me.
George was silent for a moment, shocked. She looked at him.
Can we be together again?
George paused, then said,
Maybe I still care for you. But I can't hurt my wife. I won't cheat her.
He placed some cash on the table and stood up.
I have to go.
He said gently, then walked out. Misha sat alone, eyes full of tears.